expired worthless,
Market's
you would
closed.
have a loss of $1,100 on that trade. So
Yeah,
while you
two
can make
red days,
significant
down by
returns
what?
on your
20
investment
bucks
or
one
trade
day
costs
and 38
when
cents
you
the
are
other.
buying put options, obviously you can lose 100% of
July
what you
1st.
pay for those put options, which means that while you can make 100% returns
Yeah, I'm the same
on
way. I never
trade
close
costs,
anything
you
that
can
I'm
also
down on,
lose
so I'm always up.
100% when you are buying options. But the big benefit
I've
of
been down the
buying
last
put
2
options
days. Very
is
slight.
that
I mean,
compared
yesterday
to
just
shorting 100
you know,
shares of
really
stock,
minuscule.
buying
Today,
put options
what
is
was it
far
today?
safer by a long shot. If you're not
Not
familiar
that
with
much,
what
not
shorting
that
stock
much.
is,
Well,
shorting stock
like
is essentially
1.5%.
betting against the stock, meaning that you make money
So,
when the share price falls.
Just
But
I've
if you
been
short a stock or
playing
you
around
bet
with
against
Tesla while
the
it's
stock price
consolidating. So
increasing,
everybody, July 1st,
since there's no limit to
2021,
how
welcome
high a
to
stock
the
price can
4th of
go,
July long
when you're
weekend,
shorting
about to come
stocks,
up, get
you
your
have
fireworks
theoretically
ready.
unlimited
Let's see if
loss
we can get some
potential.
fireworks
So in
tomorrow
that case, if
on
you
this
were
market
comparing
and
shorting
make some
100
money.
shares of stock to buying a put option,
Let's hope.
you would have much less risk buying a
Again,
put
second day
option
in a row did very
compared
little
to
trading.
shorting 100
Threw
shares of stock.
took off Tesla
So in this
shorts, waiting
NVIDIA
for
example,
an intraday
if
run.
I
Part
shorted
of my
100 shares
strategy
of
on
stock
that tick
at
right now.
$280
Also,
per share and the share price
small
went to
account
320,
strategy, which we've
I would have
decided
a
will start
loss
at
of
$2,000 and build from
$4,000.
there,
So
which
a
means it ain't
$40
going to be
loss
Tesla. That's
on
part of our
100
strategy
shares
out of the box.
would give me a
Gonna
loss of
find one that
$4,000. But in this
trades
example,
similar
we
to
saw that the
Tesla.
put option
Two of
purchase
them,
only lost
Tesla, maybe one
$1,100.
ETF.
So when you
It's
compare
got some
shorting stock
volatility
to
to it,
buying
and
a
one
put,
ticker
buying
we
a
know
put
well,
is,
but
in my
something maybe more in
opinion,
the $100
a much
range,
better way
instead
to
of the
do
$700
things.
range.
If you're unfamiliar with what shorting
But we're
stock
going to do
is
that. I
and
got a
how
bunch
it
of
works,
people signed up
I
for
will
this.
leave a
It'll be
link
fun,
down in
fun
the
play
description
for
below
us during the
so
month
that
of July.
you can get
I'm
my
gonna teach a
video
class on it
explanation
going into
and
that. I
demonstration
haven't started
of shorting
prepping it
a
yet,
stock.
so don't hold
By the way,
me-
you can
don't hold
download
my
a
feet to the
full
fire
PDF of all of
until
the
I get
slides
there.
and the images shown in this
So as I
presentation.
said, trades,
So
took my
if you
shorts
want to
off of
download that,
Tesla,
you can do
put 'em
so
back
for
on.
free,
How did
and
I
you
end
don't
up
have
with
to
the
put in an
shorts?
email
I
address. To be
broke
honest
even.
with you,
I made
the only
$100 a
reason I would
contract
want
on
your
one
email
short and
address
lost
is
about
to
$90
send
a
you my
contract
future
on the others.
YouTube videos. So if you download that
So
PDF,
that's that.
I would love to have your
UPSD, didn't
support
have to do anything with
and
it
see
today.
you
The
in my
short
future
is
videos by
close
having you
to
as a
closing for
subscriber.
nothing.
We've
and
covered a
since
lot of
that
content
trade
thus
has
far.
irritated me to
My head
no
hurts a little
end,
bit,
I'm
but I
going
can
to
still
let
keep
it
going, and I
expire
hope you
tomorrow.
can too.
And I'm going to pocket
But
all
I want to really quickly
$375
just say that if
per
you made it this
contract
far,
for the short.
you are doing a
The
great
July
job
2nd,
because we
1
have
Thursday.
discussed the two
All right,
most
I'm gonna
basic
take
options
all of that
trades that
money
you can
tomorrow,
make,
and I'm gonna
which
keep
are buying call options
just because I'm
and
irritated
buying
by
put
the trade.
options. But before getting to the next two options trades that
Holy
make
cow.
up the four most
Holy
basic
cow.
options trades that you can
Didn't
make,
pay any
I
attention
want
to
to talk
PDD
more
today.
about option prices.
Wow.
More specifically,
So
in the
we
Tesla
actually
example,
are,
when
I'm
the
actually
stock
right
price
on
was
that
at
trade when we were up to 80%.
$811,
Who's in PDD? When
why
was
was
that,
the call
July
option with a strike
16th?
price of $800, only $11 below the share
What the heck
price?
happened to that?
Why
today? I
was
wasn't
that
paying any
option
attention.
worth
Did you guys
over
all close down the PDD
$8,000?
choice?
And also, in the
'Cause I did not.
IWM example,
Like an idiot.
the stock price was $130.71, but the put option with a strike price below that at $130 was worth $624. So I would
This
like
is
to
a
go
debit spread from
and
here.
explore those prices with you
$5
and
today, right
explain to you why those prices make sense and where option
goodness.
prices come
Just,
from
you know
in
what?
more detail
Sometimes I just-
before moving
sometimes I
on
just
to
get
the
so
other
tunnel visioned
options
on
trades
stuff
that
that
you
I'm
can
doing on a
make
day by
as an
day
options
that-
trade.
anyway.
So let's get started.
Well,
In this next
hopefully we won't
section,
have to
we are
fix
going to be
that.
talking about the components of
Down
option
42 bucks
prices.
per-
We've
on a
already
day
kind of
for that
talked
one.
about the real value that an option can provide the
22
owner
total.
in certain scenarios and
Thing
depending
bothers
on
me is
whether
red.
we're talking
Green
about a
was
call option
really
or a
massively
put
green
option.
trade, and I just
But
said,
as we
"No, let's
discussed
just
and as we
set
saw
that
in the
aside
previous
and
examples,
forget it.
particularly
Dummy.
the
I'm a
IWM
dummy.
example, that does not fully explain
Airbnb
where an options price
took-
comes from.
continues
So
to
in this
do well
section, we
for
are
us.
taking
I
a
posted
deep dive
those,
into option
earlier in
prices,
terms of my
and
positions.
I am pretty
Billy
confident that
just
after this
keeps
section,
consolidating.
options are going
I
to
don't
make
know when
a whole
or
lot
if
more
we're going
sense
to make
to you.
money on that.
So let's dig
I've
in.
got
There are two
August and
components
July,
that make up the
130s and
whole of
140s.
every options price. The first is called
to wait and see.
intrinsic
Called
value,
tactical, but the
and
beating
the second
today,
is called
I've got the
extrinsic
27
value.
short,
You
call
don't know
short.
it yet, but you essentially
And,
already
that's my
know
update for
what
all my
intrinsic
positions.
value represents in
The
an
market
options price.
itself, how do we do
Remember
on
when I
that?
had the house example
131
where the house
green
was
handles on the
$350,000 $250,000, and I had a call option on that house with a strike price of $200,000. In that example, since my call option allows me to purchase the house for $200,000, and the house is currently $150,000 above
J-Man,
that
J-Man, can you
at
hear me?
$350,000, we would say that that call option in that example had $150,000 of intrinsic value, meaning that the option contract was worth at least $150,000 because me, as the owner of that option, I could use that option to buy the house for $150,000 lower than the current market price of $350,000. So that is what intrinsic value is.
Goes to
For puts, it's the
short.
opposite. So if you have a strike price of $130 and the stock price is at $120, you have a put contract that can sell shares of stock $10 higher than the current stock price, and that has real or intrinsic value equal to $10. So since the put option can sell shares of stock $10 above the strike price, we say that the put option has $10 of intrinsic value. In the Tesla call option example, where I purchased the 800 strike call option, and Tesla shares go to $1,000 per share, since that call
60%.
option has the ability to purchase shares of stock $200 below the current
60%.
stock price, in that instance, the call option has $200 of intrinsic value. And I also told you that an option's
is
price
my rule.
must
That
be
is the
worth
rule.
the benefit that it can provide the owner at that moment. And what I really meant by that is that an option's price must be worth at least the amount of its intrinsic value. Because
okay. We'll
the
just sit
benefit
tight
that
on
it can
those
provide the
at
owner
time.
at that moment,
Yeah, it's
that
only
is the
at,
minimum that the contract should be worth. So if I had that Tesla call option with a strike price of $800 and the stock price is at
Yeah, we're
$1,000,
down at the bottom
since
of the
I
channel,
personally could use that
Just
option
sit down, you
to
gotta
make
sit
a
on it.
$200
Anyway, my
gain on
apologies,
the shares
Jimmy,
if
and
I
know I was gonna
exercise
put
the
you in that
option.
trade and to get
But
you
I don't
going
want the
again.
option.
So we're gonna,
I'm
it'll
not
be
going to
fine.
sell it
Just
to
sit
somebody
tight.
else
It's me
for
trying to
any less than
rationalize
$200.
making a shitty
And that's
decision.
because if I
That's how
use
it
it
sounds when I
myself,
make a shitty
the
decision.
benefit
That's
to
my
me
rationalization
could be
was.
a $200 gain per share.
All right.
So if I want to
I
sell it to
don't
somebody
really have
else,
anything else to
it's
say
going
right
to be
here,
worth
so,
at least that amount or more when
Jimmy,
I
can
sell
you
it
come
to
on
them.
voice for a minute?
So let's go to that Tesla call option example, and let's look at the image where the stock price was currently at around $836 per share. In this image, the share price of Tesla is $836.41. And again, we are looking at the call option with a strike price
come on voice
of
for a minute?
$800. Now, because this call option has the ability to purchase shares of stock at $800, but the current share price is $836.41.
Can you hear? You're not
This
listening
call
to me,
option
though.
has $36.41
We are fine on
of
this,
intrinsic value. But we can see that the
Okay.
option's actual price is much higher than its intrinsic value because the option's price is currently $94.10 in this image. So the portion of the Tesla call options price that is above its intrinsic value of $36.41 is called extrinsic value. And extrinsic value is sometimes referred to as time value
profit.
because it can be associated with the option's potential to become more valuable, particularly intrinsically valuable, before it expires. So in the case of this Tesla call option, there are over 30 days left until that option expires. But right now, in this moment, it has $36.41 of intrinsic value. But since the option's price is currently $94.10, the additional $57.69 in the option's price is extrinsic or time value.
$5 to that's.
Now let's think about this.
Substantial move.
Tesla shares are
10%.
incredibly volatile.
Yeah, whatever.
And with an option that has over
right.
30 days to expiration, there's a lot of time left for Tesla shares to move around a lot. Particularly in the
just
case of this
until
call
the moment
option,
comes, I guess,
if
huh?
Tesla were to go to $900, this 800 call option would now have $100 of intrinsic value. So just because it only has $36.41 of intrinsic value right now, there's the potential that the option will have significantly